Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Caroline and this is episode 175. You can find me online everywhere as Kralalien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, Ko-Fi, Patreon, basically everywhere I use that name. And I have a webshop, colourfulcreativity.nl. I just put Binks in his bed because he wanted to. If you hear weird sounds, you can probably now see why. Hi. You did want to show off your cone of shame after all. Show your fans you're still alive, even though you have been made to wear this stupid cone of shame. He's still purring. Still stealing the show as well. So, yeah. It's been 2 weeks again. My goodness. I'm not even sure if I was on antibiotics the last time. But it just kept going. After me, this Mr. got sick. And, well, let me tell you about all that in the end. But he is still here. He's doing okay. And he's getting healthy again. Yes, you're getting healthy again. Yes, you need to. I do not have finished objects unless you count 2 swatches. So here are 2 swatches that I did. They were blocked and everything. I want to make myself a Christmas sweater. The pattern is the festive yoke sweater, I think, by Steingass. And I have 2 balls of yarn that are not Caroline soft, basically. I have Lopi camp yarn, and this one is Rauma Fino. It says PT2, but I think the new labels don't even say that anymore. It's just Fino. And to be fair, the camp yarn is basically Caroline Skin to Soft. Next to Skin Soft. I can handle that. But I also knit this swatch and put it in my bra, and I can also wear it. It is not super soft, but I have been told the more you wear it and wash it, the softer it gets. But yeah, I think I can handle it. But I have decided on the Lopi camp yarn. That will be my Christmas sweater. And I have to help someone into his blanket fort now. Binks is back in his bed with his sister, so all is well again. I can have free moving of everything. So I have decided on the camp yarn because it is just way softer and I think it will be nicer for me. Yeah, I am excited to start a new sweater, but before I do that I have to finish something, a sweater. So let me show you what I've been working on. I needed a lot of stockinette in my life because, well, Binks needed a lot of cuddles. All he wanted to do was be on my lap, or if I wasn't available, on Robert's lap. I can tell you, mostly my lap. And I was able to do a lot of knitting on this beast. I have finished the body. That's the back. This is the front. So here is the yoke. You have seen that a few times already. But it is now all done. And bound off and everything. Short rows in the back. You can see it's a little bit longer in the back. And I did a tubular bind off. So I hope that is visible, or actually it's probably invisible because that is what the bind off does. I was there the last time I showed it to you, so I did quite some. And I have already done 4 inches, 4.5 inches about, on the sleeve as well. So I tried it on yesterday and the front looks good. It looks really nice, even though it is wobbly as hell. but the back looks like I have 3 elongated tits, so on the back, which I don't. I really hope that adding the sleeves will make this pull down a bit, smoothen it out with blocking as well. So fingers crossed for that. I did not want to block it before starting the sleeves because I have mojo to knit the sleeves now. And if I block it, I have to dry it first and it will take days. So this is a pretty heavy 3-color bit. It has on the inside leatherback jacquard. So it's quite a lot of fabric that needs to dry. And since it's gotten colder, I will probably not have mojo to wait until it's finished. It is oversized, about 4 or 5 inches. That is a lot for me, but I was like, okay, let's follow the pattern and do that. I posted it on Instagram and on Ravelry in the group I'm active. And on Ravelry someone said they always choose the size on their upper bust measurement and move 20 stitches from the back to the front when doing the splitting for the sleeves, which I thought was very, very smart. Because my back is not as big as my front with my boobs. Like, you could also do measuring this, the upper bust, and then do short rows for bust darts. But that is difficult with collar work, so we'll see. I will finish hopefully soon. It will be warm this winter, I hope. Lots and lots to tell you about this that I'm skipping because my head is just all over the place. I am using this gorgeous sock monkey on a skateboard and on bike and on skates project bag by Frog Peak Creations, the lovely Monique from Canada. The pattern is the Gardengate sweater by Jennifer Steingass. And I think a lot of her patterns have that issue in the bigger sizes. So I have to keep that in mind for the next one, because I do have a few more of her patterns and yarn ready to cast on the next one, because she has beautiful designs, but apparently mostly usable for people who are smaller, because she is petite. The yarn I'm using, I have 3 colors. Is all Rowan Valley Tweed, and here is the label. And this is a fingering weight yarn, so 50 grams is 207 meters. And I bought this from my lovely friend Angela when I was in the UK. I think even in her store, or maybe it was the year after, but she has a online yarn store, Yarn and Yarns, and she carries lovely yarns there. This was one of them, and I really had to have it, so I got a nice sweater quantity. The needles I'm knitting on now is a 4mm. I did the ribbing on a 3.75mm and the color work on a 4.5mm. And I have color work in the sleeve ahead of me, so again, 3-color color work, so I will be hating myself then, probably. And even though this bag is humongous, the yarn plus the sweater almost doesn't fit in. I'm afraid to close the zipper because I'm anxious there's something getting caught, but it still fits. It's closed. So I can safely put it on the ground so no cats will get into it. Then I needed some waiting room knitting because I had to go to the hospital for an appointment, and yeah, I didn't have any socks on the needles that were not color work or difficult. So yeah, I did not have the time to cast on a simple plain vanilla sock. So I got out my Star Wars spooky bag from Jibberoo Sews. I think it even glows in the dark, but I'm not sure because I hardly ever see that. In here is a cowl, a scrappy cowl that I am knitting with leftovers from different projects and just minis, etc. And this is a pattern I got in an advent calendar in, I think, 2022 from the lovely Josh of Breiwerken. It's really simple. It is 5 knit, 2 purl and that all around, and it keeps going. You cast on less stitches than a multitude of 7, so it shifts all the time. And this is the outside. It's very nice texture, but I really love the inside. It spirals, and I'm not sure if that really shows up here, but it is like diagonal spiraling a bit. Yeah, not sure if you can really see that, but I can see it in person and it looks fantastic. So I might just turn it inside out or make it so that I can wear it on both sides. I have added one section. Every section is 12 rows, and then I switch colors again. And I'm using all singles leftovers. This is the one I just finished. This is something from Hedgehog Fibers, something honey, I'm not sure. And now I am using this one, which, no, not this one. This is the next solid one. It's always a solid one and a speckled one. So solid one, speckled one, solid one. No, speckled one, solid one, speckled one, solid one. This one. This is, I think, something like Mimosa that I dyed myself. And yeah, there's a lot in here. There's also some Madeline Tosh yarn left over from a cowl. A different cowl I knit, a brioche one. And this one is also a Madeline Tosh. Very deep stash stuff. So I'm really enjoying that. And it was good that I had it with me because I had a 45-minute delay, and knitting really helps calm the nerves about the appointment. And yeah, I am using a 3.5mm needle, and for those of you in the know, yes, those are pink cables from the sock set of Higher Sharp, and I use the connector that makes mini fit on small, because the tips I had were short, and I hate short tips because I cannot knit with them. So they got longer and now I can knit easily with them. Yeah, 3.5mm indeed. So I cheated to get the right needles for this project because I always run out of 3.5s somehow. Not much to say about this probably. It gets picked up now and again. Then, since I went to the Breidagen last Friday and I wasn't the one driving, I did need a vanilla sock because I didn't want to take the cowl, because I had to keep in mind that I needed an extra collar and I didn't want to do that because that would mean extra luggage. So I didn't want to haul everything around. So what did I do? I took a project out of the project bag because I was too lazy to get the new project bag. So in this Eldenwood scroll bag that I got from my lovely friend Angela of Yarn and Yarns is a vanilla sock, because I had to. It took me a while to find the ball of yarn that I was looking for, because it had to be light enough to knit in the dark as well in the cinema, that we didn't get to go this morning. But here you go. I was prepared, but something came up. But here we go. I had done the ribbing at home already and managed to do this on the way to the Breidagen, which isn't a lot, but it's also not a little. On the way back, I wasn't able to knit at all because it was raining so badly I couldn't look ahead far enough to keep knitting. For those of you who also get car sick, they will probably understand what I mean. So yeah, I had to keep my eyes on the road to not get nauseous. And that was okay. We had a very nice chat in the car. We were with 3 friends and yeah, we had a wonderful time, really. More on that later. So here is the sock. It is a Schoppel Zauberball and the color is Tiefe Wasser. So deep waters. No, you really want my face? Okay, well, you know the logo of Schoppel probably. These are for Robert, so 72 stitches, 2x2 rib for 15 rounds, and then I think I'm gonna do about 40 to 50 rounds on the leg, just plain vanilla. Then I'm gonna do probably a slip stitch heel, and I'm knitting them on 2.5mm high sharps, because somehow I still had 2 empty sock needles. I know why, and you will know later on as well. So, first sock project. Second sock project hasn't grown a lot, but also came from that bag and was originally in that bag, is this one, the something Prairie socks. Keep forgetting. And I think I didn't even print the front page. Nope, I didn't print out the front page. Oh well. This is what the leg looks like, and this is how it looks on the foot. Just a tiny bit of diagonal and mostly stockinette. I have to look it up now because I don't know the name. Good thing it's an easy find. Prairie spring socks. Jeez. So here is my progress. I have a leg with a cuff. I really love how it looks, and I have started the heel flap, but I did make a mistake there. So the yarn I'm using is by Spingodin. It is called Bijeneter, or in English it's I think a bee eater. And I got this at Castlefest, so it hasn't been in my stash that long. I didn't let it marinate. These socks are knit with 80 stitches, so the diagonal takes away some of the stretch. And I should have switched to a 2.25mm needle instead of using my 2.5mm high sharp for this. But my 2.25mm is already in use. So I was a bit silly and forgot that I had to switch. So I have to rip out those few rows that I did and start again on a smaller needle so it isn't way too wide on the heel. So yeah, mistakes have been made. The pattern is pretty intense because you have to cable every few stitches, but that's okay. Then in this flowery project bag I have something really fun, and I am going to grab my sock blocker because it's worth it. It definitely is worth it. I told you last time I was selected for a test knit for Caia of Lana Filia, and I have finished it, the first sock and the things I had to do for the test knit. So here it is. And most of you of my age will probably now go na 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 Batman. Yeah, indeed. These are the bedside socks. Little cold work on the toe as well. It is a 2-color cast on, corrugated ribbing, Latvian braid, color work sock, and a lot of different needle sizes. I started for the cast on with a 3.25mm needle, then a 3mm needle for the rib, then a 2.25mm needle for the stockinette, 3.25mm needle for the Latvian braid, and for the color work I used 2.5mm. And this is 80 stitches on a 2.25mm needle, which is crazy in dark blue yarn in this time of the year, but hey. The things we do for our loved ones, right? I do not just have one sock. I also have a second sock. Here it is. I have just finished the color work and I am now knitting stockinette on the 2.25mm needle, which is a Jawoll sock needle. And the yarn that I'm using is Colourful Yak sock in Dancing with the Waves, or Dance with the Waves, sorry. And Colourful Smooth sock in Hello Yellow. And in here is also a 2.5mm Jawoll sock needle, because I need that for the foot. So I keep it with the project, so I know for sure that I will have the right needle. But I will be honest, at the moment my Gardengate has my focus, because the test knit was for just one sock and most of the other testers did finish the second sock, but I didn't. I needed something else than 2.25mm 80 stitches dark blue. I just couldn't handle it anymore. I needed a break. Mostly my hands needed a break because it's pretty tight knitting. I am already a tight knitter, so it was a bit much. But it is definitely a fun pattern and it will be coming out next week. So keep an eye on Lana Filia, her account on Instagram, and Frau Wölfchen, because this is a collaboration. I think the original socks for the pattern have been knit with Frau Wölfchen's South Down yarn, which is amazing. I mean, I have spun with the South Down fiber, and I can only imagine how the yarn will be. But yeah, that's really nice grippy yarn for socks, very suitable, and yeah, just very nice. Then the last project I worked on in the Floof Hunter bag is just a teeny tiny progress, because it just didn't work with Binks on my lap. The Repeat After Me socks by Stitchee design, and I am working at the gusset increases. It is done a little bit different, and what I can see, I did basically 4 rows. That's all I did since the last time, so it's not massive, but okay. Did I print something I can show you? Yes, I did. This is how they look. I am only making shorties. I'm knitting these on 2.5mm higher sharps, and the yarn I'm using is Opal. This is a solid petrol, and this is their Opal Surprise. I already ranted about the yarn last time, so I won't do that again, but I'm still angry at it for not knotting the right color. So yeah, this is just on the back burner, even though I know I should finish somewhere in November. Oh, my Gardengate sweater is first. Me first. So that is all the whips I worked on. I have very little shop news. The autumn box is still available. I'll be dyeing up the yarn tomorrow, and yeah, that's basically it. I am planning to do another run on the gift box. I hope some of you will enjoy that as well. Yeah, just a little gift for yourself for Christmas, or whenever you want to unpack it. Just a little gift for yourself, period. With yarn, tea, candles, and some extras like stitch marker made by me, glass beads, what else, needle stoppers or something. Yeah, I still have to figure things out what I'm gonna get, but it will be a nice affordable box again this year. And acquisitions, anyone? Yeah. My local haberdashery is closing down and is having a 10% off everything sale at the moment, and I needed bra wires, so I got those. And then I also needed some elastic thread to fix one of Robert's support stockings, and she also sells a little bit of yarn. So I couldn't resist getting myself some basic colors of Jawoll. They're always handy to have in stash for Sock Madness and such. Yeah, she will be closing down in March, so she's having like 6 months of a sale, which is definitely a shame, but I totally get it, because she cannot compete with all the online stores. The store, I'm not sure, I think I already told you about. It's really tiny and really full, and you can hardly walk. Like, there's a small path you can navigate, but it always feels like this. And I'm just a little bit bigger, so I am always afraid to throw things over. But if you ask what you need, she will get it and just grab it right away. She knows everything where it is. So yeah, it's definitely her store. So I got those also to support her. I mean, that store is so full. I really hope she sells a lot of it still until she closes. And then, like I said, I was at the Breidagen. I went with 2 friends and met a third one there, and we had a blast together. We walked around, I heard lots of people, and I totally flaked and forgot to make videos and photos. That's how much I enjoyed myself. I just was there and having a great time with my friends. So, first thing I got, because I made a list, is this fashion clip. It is a clip to close a cardigan or a shawl, and they are to pimp your boots. But then she figured out, oh, I can do a lot more than just pimp my boots. I can also use it for cardigans and shawls and stuff. And yeah, you can just put it here on your open cardigan to make it a more closed cardigan, which I like, because my cardigans basically always hang here and I'm cold at the front. So now I can actually close it. So that was a must-have for me. Then I was looking at the Rauma or kampgarn, but it wasn't available at the Breidagen. Or at least I didn't see it. It was really busy, and some places I just couldn't even get to the stall because there was a full line in front of it. It was just a no. I'm not gonna push through. I'm just gonna walk past then. I don't like to go there. Then I also got a very nice skein that I now discover has different colors than I thought. Okay. I got a skein of Undercover Otter Squirm. You know, it's my favorite sock base. And I really love to support Aiden. So I thought, let me get a skein of Aphrodite, because I really wanted that one for a pretty long time. And the thing I discovered was that it had darker speckles inside. I only saw the pink ones, but there's darker stuff inside. Just in the purple, not in the pink. Interesting, interesting. So, never just trust a skein as is. Always open it up before starting it. That's a very good thing to keep in mind. And those are the only two things I bought. So yes, I was very well behaved. Then I also saw the Wall hobby stand, and the Wolzus gave me this button. Please focus. It says driving time is knitting time in Dutch, and just for the passenger, of course, not while driving. And yeah, last year it was there is no knitting police, so she makes a new button every year, which is pretty cool. Those were my acquisitions. Basically everything craft worthy that I did. I could show you the 3 stitches of embroidery that I did, but they are white on white, so nobody's gonna notice. Yeah, I guess for those who don't want to hear the personal update, I will see you again next time. And for those who are sticking around, thank you very much. Like I already said, I got sick, very sick. I got antibiotics, I got a little bit better, and then my pelvis decided all the muscles to cramp and I couldn't even walk anymore. That sucked, because we really wanted to go to the open day of the hospital. So I messaged my osteopath, like, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. She messaged me back the same day with, I have someone who's fallen sick, so if you want, you can come now. So I jumped in the car. Well, I slowly walked like a granny, like walking like this to the car. And I sat down and I slowly drove to my osteopath. But she had 30 minutes for me, and after that I walked out like straight up and feeling a lot better. And the day after, we actually went to the open day of the hospital here. Since we weren't going to be in the hospital too much the next month, we were like, okay, we can visit the open day this year. And we had goals. There were 2 specific things we wanted to see. The radio therapy department. I know we've been there, I know we've seen a lot of it, but not all. And now we did. We got to see some behind the scenes bits. So where the people are who program the computer and make sure you lie still and talk you through it. So those things, but also the PET scan that I have never seen, but Robert has, of course. But I'm not allowed in there. It's all radioactive stuff, so you are not allowed past this door unless you have to be there. So I also saw that, and then we went for the tour to the helipad, which was awesome. So I am afraid of heights, but I didn't notice anything. Okay, I didn't go straight to the edge of the helipad and look down. But the view of the city was great. The weather was amazing. So yeah, that was definitely worth it. And after that we went home because it was like, let's not overdo it and do too much for Robert. We could have done other things as well, but I only found out afterwards, like try out how to draw blood on a fake arm, how nurses learn, or stitch up a wound at the dermatology department, which also sounded very cool. So we have definitely an incentive to go again next year and see those things. So that was a fun thing we did manage to do. And a few days later, Mr. Binks got, no, a few days before, sorry, Mr. Binks got sick. He has an anal gland abscess that burst, and yeah, of course I found out 10 minutes after the vet closed for the day, and you have to call the emergency number, etc. But they said, no, this is no emergency. This can wait, it might burst this night, but okay, you just have to put a cone on him and see the doctor tomorrow. It will be plenty in time. So yeah, that was not the plan to have that running around as well, because he needs to be staying at my in-laws in about a week because we are having a small renovation in 2 weeks. Yeah, so hopefully the wound will be closed by then. Binks didn't really enjoy his antibiotics. We had to stop on day 7 instead of day 10. He got really sick every time he got that pill. So we called the vet and we're like, no, this is not gonna happen anymore. Either we need something else. And they said, no, you can stop. He's had a full week, it's fine. If you hear something, that's my dishwasher. I know, we run it during the day now and it messes up my podcast schedule. And I've decided to no longer care about those things. It's either I go online for the podcast and do this, and otherwise there's always something going on here and I just can't. So sorry about it. You have to start or learning to live with it, just like I do. There's no thing as the perfect time anymore. Just do it. So yeah, basically we've been with a cone of shame for almost 2 weeks now. The poor thing. And yeah. So what fun things did I have? Yeah, the breidagen. They were definitely fun. I really had a blast. And we would have gone to the cinema this morning to see Beetlejuice, but unfortunately last night wasn't really successful for sleep. Around 10 we went to sleep, and just after 11 the vacuum cleaner in the attic went on. Just suddenly went on. I know what happened. You have that rod and it probably fell over on the on button. It happened to the cleaning lady last week as well. She was like, why are Robert and Caroline vacuuming the house? I can hear a vacuum running. I am here to do that. Why are they doing it? And then she was like, oh, it's coming from upstairs, not downstairs, because we were downstairs. And she said, oh, okay, it's running by itself. So we have to find a solution for it. We never pull the plug from the wall because it's behind a closet and it's pretty hard to get to. But I think we have to lay down the rod next to it so this doesn't happen again. Because Robert's adrenaline had spiked so hard he couldn't even get back to sleep until a few hours later. And then he woke up sneezing, like had a sneezing fit from allergies. And I was like, what the fuck happened? So it wasn't the best day to add extra stuff for the overwhelm. And just no, not a good day. So we decided to skip the cinema. We didn't buy tickets yet. I never buy tickets up front because things happen here in this household. As I already maybe felt somehow, I'm not sure. So yeah, what do we have left to say? Not much, I guess. I'm feeling better finally. My pelvis doesn't hurt as much anymore. The muscles have gone almost back to normal, I think. Just some pains here and there, which is quite normal for me. I had my implants removed. Like, both are out now. I wasn't really, they weren't doing their job, so I was like, get them out. That was the procedure I was getting that was running late, and it was fine. I was pretty scared I would get the doctor I dislike, but nope, it was a really, really nice lady, so totally fine. One thing left, what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my love note, and it has mohair in it, so I'm trying to keep it just on the edge of this one, because I can handle this sweater, but not for too long. I also can't handle it here, so I pull them up a little bit, so it's not sitting exactly in my arm, in my elbow. There's a difference between different mohairs. I have soft ones and I have crispy ones, and the crispy ones I really can't handle. But these soft ones are a bit better. I know the crispy ones will get softer, but not soft as this soft one. It's two different brands and it's really weird, but okay. Yeah, I guess with that, I'm just gonna say goodbye because I'm rambling on and on and on and on. Nobody needs that. I hope you have a wonderful week and I hope to see you again soon. Not in 2 weeks because of the renovation. We are getting new windows and frames upstairs. So yeah, it will be a mess in those rooms. We have to empty them. I have to empty the dye studio. I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, after that it will be better because I can actually wash my own windows and we'll have those German style blinds on the outside as well. So you can keep the sun out better in summer and keep it cooler in the room. And we can open up the windows even though the blinds are closed and it will be heavenly. I hope. I'm really looking forward to that. So, not to the mess, but to the after it's finished. So I will see you again when I see you again, hopefully in about 3 weeks. So, bye bye.